Welcome to Weapons of Choice. And the first weapon that I'll be using, I'm talking about today, is the Iku, which is this long weapon here, like a bow staff, but with a paddle at the end. So the word Iku literally means paddle or oar. But as I've discovered in my research, it really is more like a paddle. So a paddle is the correct word for the tool that the weapon came from. And oar is sort of used in a rowing motion, but the boats that the traditional Okinawans used, the method that they used to move them along the water was more paddling, like stand up paddling, different sort of movement. So it is really actually a paddle. So it's made of obviously wood, carved from a single piece of wood, traditionally. And as you can see, it's got a flat edge, and then it's got this edge with a sort of a ridge on it, just a rounded tip and a short sort of staff. So the actual proportions tend to vary. This one is sort of probably got a bit less than half, maybe, with the paddle. Sometimes it's a third, but this is sort of pretty much similar to the ones I picked up and looked at in Okinawa and saw in the museum. So that's the weapon itself. And one of the reasons why, well, actually, the reason that I did choose it was because I was really inspired by my trip to Okinawa and history of the culture there and the community. And it is a really unique Okinawan weapon that really has no other basis or other origin. Most Kobudo weapons originate from China or have a mixed history from Japan and China. This one is uniquely Okinawan, and in my search for looking for a longer weapon to use for my 4th degree, I was really looking for something unique that had something different about it that I had not seen used in a grading before. I looked at spears, like a Chinese spear, even naginata that was the traditional weapon, as legend would have it, of the Onobu geisha, the female samurai. But nothing sort of quite fit until I went to Okinawa and picked one of these up in one of the dojos there. And I saw them in the history museum, and that was it. I knew that was going to be the weapon for me. As soon as I got home, I bought one. Luckily, they happened to have them here. I thought we might need to make one or get one from Okinawa or Japan. But fortunately, no, I was able to buy one pretty easily, thankfully, to our great martial arts suppliers here in Australia. And I have started using it ever since then. So that is a little bit of the history and why I chose the weapon. Next video, I'll just make this part 1. Part 2, I'll talk about how I have learned to use it and, the pros and cons that I've found with the weapon.